When I was younger, my parents brought me to SeaWorld for the first time. When I first walked in, I was a little intimidated by all the big roller coasters and the rides, and then when I saw the animals, I just remember being truly fascinated, and ever since then, I've taken up such an interest in SeaWorld. What makes me credible to talk about SeaWorld today is I have personal experience going there, and I do have years of researching this. It has been since my sophomore of high school year, and I'm now going into my junior year of college. So it wasn't just for this class, I've been researching this for years. And the reason to listen to me today is it will make you smarter. For those of you who don't know a lot about SeaWorld, this will make you more educated on the topic and just tell you about this and maybe make you want to visit it one day. So in order to inform you guys about SeaWorld today, first we need to go over the history of SeaWorld, and then the attractions and entertainment at the park, and then last the animals that they have there. So now that I've introduced you to SeaWorld, first let's talk about the history. It was discovered in 1960 by 4 UCLA graduates, and their first idea was they wanted to create an underwater restaurant. Then this was deemed unfeasible by the county, so they had to take a different route. So that's how they formed SeaWorld. They went with a marine park instead. The first one was in San Diego, and then they've branched off into locations like Florida and Texas, and actually up until last week, they just opened one in Dubai, which actually holds the record for the world's largest aquarium tank. They've also had to face many obstacles with this history. They've had a lot of backlash from this one documentary called Blackfish, and Zippa, which is an online job website. They help you find jobs, but not only do they help you find jobs, they give you everything you need to know about that job that you're looking for. They said in 2022 that after facing drastic declines, SeaWorld Parks, the company announced that they were no longer going to breed orcas in captivity, and they were going to revamp the show, the Orca Show, to show their more natural behaviors instead of just entertainment purposes, which is important because since their visitors have declined a lot, this kind of reopened it back up to the public and made people more comfortable with going there. So now that we have covered SeaWorld's history, let's now talk about the attractions and entertainment that you can find at the parks. You can find all kinds of rides at these parks, like kiddie rides, roller coasters, and water rides. SeaWorld Orlando actually has they hold 2 records for 2 of their rides. Infinity Falls is a water ride that holds the record for the largest water raft drop in Orlando, but think of it as Orlando has 2 other main theme parks, Disney World and Universal, and in SeaWorld it has 2 rides that hold records out of all of those parks. Mako is another roller coaster that holds a record, and Sarah Roberts is a journalist, and she has also traveled to all the places that she journals about. She is of OrlandoInformer.com, and she said in 2023 that Mako has a lap bar restraint that will keep you safe even though it's taller and faster than any other ride in Orlando, which is really important because, again, think about Universal, the roller coasters that are there. This holds a big record for being taller and faster than any of those rides, which is pretty cool. And other forms of entertainment they have at the park are shows with their animals. They have an orca show, a sea otter and sea lion show, a dolphin show, and these are just to inform you about the animals' natural environments. Like I had previously said in my last point about the orca shows, this just informs you about their natural environments and what they do as animals. Then they have another form of entertainment. It's called Dine with Shamu, which is a dining experience that is set up next to the orca tank, and while you're eating and having a nice dinner, you can also have a cool experience with orcas coming up to you while you're eating. Now that we've talked about the attractions at the park, let's finally finish up by talking about their animals. They have all kinds of different animals: dolphins, killer whales, sharks, walruses, sea otters, sea lions, penguins, flamingos, every kind of marine animal. They also have the nation's largest rehab and rescue program with saving over 40,000 animals, and they do 24/7 around the care clock with these animals as well. And majority they are able to release back into the wild, but there is that small percentage that do live at SeaWorld for the remainder of their life because they aren't able to survive back in the wild. Jim Fulcher, who is another journalist, he travels around and interviews personally these places that he journals about. He is of travelwaits.com, and he said in 2023 that he went to SeaWorld San Diego and talked to them and said that Rescue Junior is a new kid-friendly hub of fun and fascination, and it teaches kids about animals while using fun and playful ways to inform them and to teach them about animals. And other interactive experiences that they have with the animals is you can get in the water with the dolphins and beluga whales, and not only can you get in the water with them, but you can also have an up-close interaction. Other animals that you can do up-close interactions with are orcas, walruses, penguins, and sharks. It's not necessarily safe to get in the water with them, so you can just do that up close, and you still get the same interactions you would if you were in the water, I guess, just safer. And then they do something that's called a rescue tour, which is just a tour behind the scenes of their rescue and rehabilitation center. Now, finally, after talking about SeaWorld's animals, let's sum up everything we talked about today. We went over the history, attractions, and entertainment and animals of SeaWorld. Now, when I got home from my trip at SeaWorld, my mom had surprised me with a Barbie doll set because she knew that I was really into SeaWorld at that time, and the time I wanted to be a marine biologist. And I actually wanted to be a marine biologist up until this year of college. And it's something that I still wish to pursue, and I hope to do volunteer on the side.